Welcome to Merrimack Pride Football right here on AM 1510 WUFC Boston. Now let's send it out to the field.
Oh, yes. Here we are back again on 1510 WUFC Boston. My name is Brad Johnson, coming to you with another great game from your 2014 Merrimack Valley Pride semi-pro football team. This week, I'm coming to you from Manning Field in beautiful Lynn, Massachusetts, where they are taking on the North Shore Generals, and we are awaiting the kickoff. The North Shore Generals are set back to receive, and this week, they are coming off of a very close loss. Unfortunately, the Pride lost last week 8-7. As we get set for the kickoff from Jose Baroa, and it looks like that it is a beautiful afternoon. I want to welcome everyone again to the broadcast as we have the kickoff, and it looks like the Generals are going to receive. Number 11 takes it up for a couple of yards, gets down to 11, finds his wall, taken down by number 24, David Carrion, which is going to bring up first down for the Generals. We're going to get an opportunity to see their offense for the first time. For all who are listening, once again, you can find 1510 WUFC on your TuneIn app. It is available for you on your iPhone, Android, or if you just go to a laptop or desk system, it's tunein.com. As we are coming up to the first down for the Generals, looks like the Pride's defense this week is a little short. I spoke with Keith Shearer earlier, and it said that some of the linebacking core would be missing today. So let's see how that goes as the Generals go into motion. Ball is snapped for a quick toss around to number 23, tackled by number 1, Luis Mendoza, for about a 4-yard gain on that carry. And that's going to bring up second down. As we continue our weekly broadcast, we'd like to thank Jay Bryant's wonderful restaurant. My wife and I got a chance to visit there after last week's game. And if you don't have an opportunity to get over into Lawrence, that is a wonderful, wonderful restaurant. As that brings up our second down, ball is snapped, another handoff to the left, takes a couple of yards, and is then brought down by Christian Guzman. Going to bring up second down, almost taken for a loss on that. Chris Guzman playing both ways this week. His work is going to be cut out for him. As I said earlier, the team is going to be a little bit short. As we all know, semi-professional football players, sometimes they get an opportunity to play, and sometimes they don't, depending on their work schedule. Hey, Boston, this is for the love of the game. I'm looking out at the stadium here. It's a Sprouts crowd, roughly about 75 to 100 people. And as that's being done, that's going to bring up second down as we await the Generals quarterback brings his troops to the line. Closest to me down at cornerback, Daniel Ramos. Daniel Ramos is a good kid. I spoke to him before the game. He said he wants to give it his all this week. They're very disappointed, the defense, with letting one go towards the end. Ball is complete, and it is taken down by David Carrion for a first down. And we do have an injury on the field from the receiver who actually caught the ball. So we're looking at an injury timeout right now for the Generals. The ball was thrown well, and it looks like that he went up. As he went up to get it, it looks like David Carrion, as he was pulling it down, he was pulling towards his left thigh, and that's what's getting worked on now. And it could be any amount of injuries, but with size, it looks like he may have pulled something, and there's always that when you're a receiver, those type of injuries not only are going to take you out of the game, but let's really talk about the rehab that comes with those type of injuries. Anytime you pull a muscle, that's especially a muscle in that category with that type of position where you make your money from making cuts, that's always going to be an issue. So let's see how that goes. They are still on the ground for this injury. I do see some movement. Both teams are on one knee. I'm trying to get a good look. It looks like number 9, the receiver who had the reception, is the person who was injured. And as I try and get a little bit more background on Dimitri Dennis, he is from Lynn, wide receiver, 6'1", 180. He gets up to his feet very slowly and gingerly as he walks off the field, and now it looks like the crowd is giving him an applause. But that was still a first down for the Generals, and it looks like Aaron Cobbs brings them to the line. Defense is set to go. One back in the backfield, spread out set up top. Cross going back deep for the pass. Defended. Number 2 was the intended receiver, and it was incomplete. Paulie Morales on the defense there, and actually Morales was beat by a couple steps, and that seemed like that was going for 6, but at the end, the Generals could not hold on to the ball, and that's going to bring them back. Looks like at the time there was a penalty on the field holding. That's going to bring them back 5 yards, and they are going to repeat first down on that call. There has been a change at quarterback for the Generals. It looks like Kelvin Amparo is the man behind the plan at this time. Amparo from the shotgun. Quick up the middle, Amparo for about 5 yards, 6 yards. Oh, and there's a fumble. Amparo picks up the ball, drops it. The Pride picks it up. Number 15, Paulie Morales, who was just burnt on the play before, now picks up the ball, and it looks like it's going to be going the other way, barring any flags on the field. I don't see any dirty laundry, so that's going to be a turnover for the Generals. That was Kevin Amparo, who took the ball himself up the middle, got stuck hard by David Carrion, and with that stick, that's what chopped the ball loose. And they teach you guys this from day one. When you're carrying the football, you cannot carry it like a loaf of bread. And that's what happened with that. He should have tucked the ball away, especially as a quarterback. He being a defensive player, if I see a quarterback taking off, I'm not trying to make the tackle. I'm trying to put my helmet directly on the ball. And that's what he did. A lot of quarterbacks don't have the opportunity to go through the same running back drills that quarterbacks do. And I think that's a prime reason of why you should be able to do that, because that guy just right there just had the opportunity to pick up an 8-9 yard gain. Instead, he's lipping on the sideline, and the Pride are going the other way. They're going to be taking the ball at midfield. First time we're going to get to see the Pride offense. Jason Fisher under center in the eye. Quick handoff for about 6 yards to Luis Mendoza. And Luis Mendoza picks up about 8 yards on that carry. That's going to bring up second down and short. The Pride have been pretty good on conversions. Let's see if they can pick up this first down here. Luis Mendoza, normally a punt returner, kick returner, wide receiver, much sought-out cornerback in the NFL. He does it all. That time they had him lined up in the I formation. Omari Mobley split wide. Jason Fisher under center from the I as we're set for this second down. Ball is snapped. Jason Fisher rolls out, looks for his receiver. Andrew Howard had a perfect open lane, drops the ball. Pass was incomplete off of a Jason Fisher rollout. That's something we haven't seen with Jason Fisher. First couple of games, it was toss right, toss left, power right, power left, good strong running between the tackles. And I said to him after the first couple of games, when are you going to start to attack the end and make something happen with play action? And we've been able to see that. That's going to bring up third down for your Merrimack Valley Pride. Fisher under center in the eye. Omari Mobley set back wide. Ball is snapped. He tries to sneak it, and it's snapped. Bad for a loss as they push him back before the play is finally whistled dead. As he tries to put his helmet back on, the defense there definitely saw that play, snapped it, and that is without any penalties, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for. That should bring up fourth down, and it does. The White Hats are having a discussion at about the 45-yard line. I think it may have been because some of the defense from the Generals were not letting up once the ball was made. And we're going to be rolling fourth down in about 3. Let's go ahead and see if Keith Shearer, the the Pride's head coach is going to let them go. Like I said, conversion-wise, they are about 30% in conversions this year in this short, young season of the NFL. And it looks like, just like that, they are going to roll. Fourth down, Jason Fisher. From the shotgun, Jonathan De Los Santos has taken it, and it was a fake punt, and they are actually punting it off. And after that short toss, Jonathan De Los Santos punted for about 15 yards, and it looks like the Generals are going to take over at about the 23-yard line. So they had them lined up. The defense was on their heels. It kind of shocked me. The Generals didn't have a safety back there just for that reason, but I think that both sides knew there was nothing that was going to happen on that play. Last time out, Kelvin Amparo, the quarterback for the Generals, had a nasty fumble, and he was limping on the sidelines. I'm waiting to see if he is going to come back out as their quarterback. I still see him on the sidelines. I'm trying to see if they're going to bring him back out as quarterback. His head coach is talking to him. He looks like that he may be going in as he's getting a couple plays from the head coach. Once again, you're listening to Brad Johnson on 1510 WUFT Boston, bringing you all of your NEFL action live every week, only on 1510 WUFC Boston. It does look like Kelvin Amparo is coming back. As we're waving this out, looks like we are going to have a timeout, and it is our first timeout of the game, and that's going to be charged to the home team, the Generals. It may be that they weren't on the same page. Amparo was getting a play late in. His whole huddle was on the field. He was the only one off to the sideline, and as he ran in, I'm not sure they knew what to do. So here we are, set to go. 10 minutes and 17 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Score is 0-0. As Kelvin Amparo lines up his Generals, he in the shotgun formation. We've got trips down low as he calls for the ball, and it looks like we have offside on the Pride. Looks like it's going to be a free play for the Generals. He overthrows it, but it's going to be called back either way. There was going to be an offside penalty against the Pride. It looks like it was possibly on that Jose Baraba who jumped early. And, you know, when you're in the shotgun, let me tell you something. When that quarterback raises that foot, a lot of times that gets people jumping because if you're looking at the quarterback and you see his foot move, that makes you want to move as well because you don't know if he's going to take off on it for a rollout or you're not sure if he's motioning it. Now, most people know when you're raising that foot, that's either a motion or he's calling for the ball. But if you get a little anxious, you get a little anxious, and that's what happened on that play for Jose Barroa out of, it looks like Lynn High School is where he played his before ball. That's going to still keep them at first down. Amparo from the shotgun hands off to number 11 for a 2-yard gain. Nice tackle by Omari Mobley. Omari Mobley comes up for the tackle. Jesse Pierce was on the carry for the short gain. And that play is a good, nice play. They get the slot back to just come up right across his middle and a quick handoff. And you see that a lot in the NFL. It's one of those really quick plays. And if you've got a guy in the slot who's quick like a Julian Edelman or a Danny Amendola, you can make that play happen. Same play, the shotgun, short carry. The defense stops him after about 2 yards. And that was a gang tackle headlined by Luis Medina on that play. And it looks like Luis Medina picks up his first tackle of the game. Medina's a big guy. Nose tackle for the Pride. He's about 6'2", 320. Just a big rolling ball right in the middle of that defense. And if you're going to go through him, 320 pounds, you better bring a little bit more than what this run game is showing. Second down, Amparo from the shotgun releases long for a long pass, and it is broken up, incomplete by David Carrion on the defense. I tell you what, Amparo has an arm. He dropped back from his back foot and unleashed about a 40-yard bomb. But it looked like Carrion had the inside position, and he played it perfectly. A lot of times, DBs, what you do is you run with the receiver. You don't turn your head until you see that receiver turn his head. And that's exactly what Carrion did. He waited until he saw, and then he was able to make that happen, which is going to bring up second down. Bar from the shotgun. Quick bubble screen. And it is snipped out by the defense. And it is taken out after about 2 yards by Christian Guzman. Christian Guzman, one of the headliners and defensive standout. We'll call his name a lot. That's going to bring up third down for the Generals. Very, very nice to see this Pride defense scrambling to the ball. First couple of weeks of the season, there were a lot of solo tackles and not a lot of assisted tackles. A sign of a good defense is when one person gets his hand on a ball carrier, on a receiver, you immediately get support to try and push him back. And I'm seeing that a lot this week. Third down, Paro from the shotgun, brings his troops ready, drops back, short pass, blocked in the air, caught by Caparo, picked it up on his own, tackled by, oh my goodness, Andrew Howard. And it looks like Guzman batted it out of the air from the attempted pass. Caparo basically caught his own deflection, ran out to the side for about 2 yards before Andrew Howard was able to take him down for a loss, which is going to bring up fourth down. It looks like they're going to see our first punt from the Generals. David Carrion is back deep to receive. And ladies and gentlemen, that was a wonderful, wonderful heads-up play by number 12, the Generals quarterback. Unfortunately, he was unable to do anything with it, which is where we're at now. Good snap, punt is off. Punt is down right at the 36-yard line. About a 27-yard punt. Everyone gets away. The Pride are going to take over at about the 37-yard line. Going the other way with 7 minutes and 56 seconds left to go here from Manning Field. You're only listening to 1510 at WUFC Boston, home of the Merrimack Valley Pride football team. I want to give a quick shout-out to my normal co-host, John Sapichetti. Congratulate him on another great year with the Boston Militia, which is a women's semi-pro team. The girls from Boston did really well. In fact, they are headed out to Chicago, Illinois to play in the championship series. So want to give a great shout-out to the Militia. They are all 1510 is also the home station of the Militia. And here we go. Second time we're going to see this offense from the Pride on the field. Jason Fisher from the eye. Two-back set. And it's a quick draw to Jonathan De Los Santos, who's crushed right up the middle and taken back about 2 yards. He's going to lose about 2 on the play, which is going to bring up second down. Jonathan De Los Santos is one of the speedier guys on the Pride. They usually have him split out wide or in the slot. It looks like this week he's taking on some tailback duties. We've seen him make a few carries. In fact, he had the first carry of the game, which netted some positive yardage. As the defense gets set up for this second down, Jason Fisher still has him in the huddle, breaks the huddle, brings the troops to the line. Taking a look at the big uglies this week, got a starter, Felix Moore, getting his first start this evening. Jason Fisher from the eye, two-back set. Alex Allen at the top. Fisher rolls out, looks for his receiver, trapped in, tucks the ball, runs about the 20, 45, taken out at about the 44-yard line as he runs out of bounds, forced out by the defense of the Generals. Score is still 0-0 from Manning Field. We're at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. This is going to bring up third down. For many of you watching at home, listening at home, your New England Patriots had a outing against the Washington Redskins. And if you were looking to see who was going to make the roster, that was a pretty good game to see. If you were looking to see your stars, and, of course, TB12, Gronkowski, Mr. Revis Island, those gentlemen you're not going to see. But we do have to give a big shout-out to Tim. He was, I think that name we will hear. I'd like to see Brady to Tim's a little bit more, so we shall see that. Huge hit. Humongous smack there on Jonathan De Los Santos from the defense. Jason Fisher had him on a toss play to the right, short side of the field. It looks like that safety came up and sniffed that out from the time it was snapped. And that's going to bring up fourth down with the Generals preparing to receive a punt. Let me tell you something. That was one of the biggest hits of the game. That was laid on the ground by Clinus Hatchley. And he is from Beverly. I had the opportunity to visit Endicott College in Beverly when I was coaching for my Billerica AAU basketball team. Beautiful, beautiful town. Beautiful, beautiful town. I wish I would have done a little better in the tournament, but it was still a good shot. That's going to bring up our punting game. It looks like Jason Fisher is going to handle those duties. Does a quick punt. Ball is off. It's clean. They're going to let it roll. Ball does hit. The ball hits one of the General players. Amari Mobley almost had it. They recovered at the 11, and that's where they're going to take over. Let me tell you something. When you're on that punt team and your job is to get back there and block, and you're blocking that gunner, you have to put your head on him and make sure that you don't accidentally touch the ball. Because once you touch the ball, it's live, and that's exactly what happened. Amari Mobley was fighting through the block. He was the gunner on that play. The ball accidentally hit the defender's leg. That ball became live. If Amari Mobley wasn't on the ground, he could have picked that ball up and ran it for a touchdown. So for all you young guys out there, remember, when you're on special teams, be cognizant of where the ball is, because that could have been a score. Once again, this is Brad Johnson coming to you from 1510 WUFC Boston, home of the Merrimack Valley Pride football team, as we are dwindling down the final few minutes of the opening quarter of the Pride versus the Generals here from Manning Field and beautiful Lynn, Massachusetts. Amparo brings up his troops from the shotgun for first down, coming out of his end zone at about 11. Quick handoff up the middle, runs up to 12 to 13 to 17, taken down at about the 17-yard line by Jose Baroa. And Jose Baroa, for his second tackle, he was also influential on the fumble recovery as part of their first turnover. That's going to bring up second down as they get ready. Drops back, short pass. Pass is dropped. Daniel Ramos was on the defense. Pass was intended for Teddy Francois out of Malden. Their quarterback, Kevin Amparo, looks like a spitting mirror image of Jason Fisher. Both quarterbacks standing at about 6'2", 6'3", right around 200 pounds, tall, lanky. Amparo seems to be more of the more mobile quarterback of the two. But other than that, looks like their spitting image. Looks like we're going to have a timeout, and that's going to be the Pride's first timeout of the game as they begin to trot to the sidelines, and head coach Keith Shearer comes over to talk to the troops. Preseason football. Trust me, my friend. I'm as excited as you are to see it. I've watched about 7 or 8 games, and I have this same argument with my friends all the time. It's preseason football. You know what? It's football that we didn't get an opportunity to see for the past 6 months. So I'm going to enjoy every second of it. Tonight, the Houston Texans play the Arizona Cardinals. For many of you who know me and who have been following me here on 1510 for the past couple of years. I am a huge Houston Texans fan, as I am from the great Lone Star State of Texas and the wonderful Bayou City of Houston. Coming out of the timeout, we've got third down and Amparo from the shotgun. Ball is quick snap. Ball is up the middle, finds the running room, runs about 7 yards, taken down by Paulie Morales. Not sure if that's going to be enough to pick up the first down. And it looks like the chains will move. That will be the first down. That run was about a 7-yard quick hitch. And Kevin Amparo drops back, scrambles, and is sacked, taken down by Christian Guzman. As he looked for his receiver, it looked like David Carrion had his receiver pretty much pushed out of bounds, and it looks like Amparo did not run through his check-throughs on that. It looks like he was lasered in for one play. A lot of times young quarterbacks forget. You go A, you go B, you go C. That's done. Okay, then you tuck and run. Don't forget about your options. Even with semi-pro football, you've got to check down your options. And that time, Amparo checked down none, and he ended up being sacked by Christian Guzman for a loss, which is going to bring up second down. Empty backfield for the Generals. Amparo backs in shotgun. Ball is snapped, reaches back, short pass, number 13. Ball is brought in. Pass is complete. That's going to bring up third down. They're going to be about 5 yards short of the first down as they try and make this conversion. They have been 1 for 1 so far in this game. Third down, Amparo, empty backfield, trips right. Ball is snapped. Amparo drops back, rolls out, rolls back, and has nowhere to go, and is gang sacked in the backfield by Luis Mendoza on a corner blitz who came in, and that's going to bring out the punt team with the clock not stopping running at 30 seconds. We'll see if they'll get a punt off before the end of the quarter. It looks like they're going to let that run off. At the end of the first quarter, the score is 0-0. Not sure if they're going to get this ball off with the clock ticking down. But as we speak, David Carrion is back deep to receive. And it looks like with 8 seconds to go, they're going to get the ball off. Ball is in the air. Carrion back to receive. Luis Mendoza eyes it. Ball is stepped away from, and they are going to let it roll at the 48-yard line. That's going to bring it into the first quarter. And with the end of the first quarter, we'll go ahead and take our first commercial break. When we come back, we will be joined live from the beginning of the second quarter. You're listening to Brad Johnson on 1510 WUFC Boston, home of the Merrimack Valley Pride. We'll get right back with you.
I'm Tom Quinlan, host of New England Soccer Weekly, heard Saturdays noon to 1 here on 1510 Yahoo Sports Radio Boston. Along with Julian Cardillo and Sean Donahue, we will preview upcoming Revolution matches, get you ready for the World Cup, and talk all things soccer. Also, listen to my podcast and follow me on Twitter at the QSpotPod. That's at the QSpotPod. For the best local, national, and worldwide coverage of the beautiful game, it's New England Soccer Weekly, Saturdays noon to 1 on 1510 Yahoo Sports Radio Boston.
The South Shore's historic Italian restaurant, The Venetian in Weymouth, has been proudly serving families for close to 100 years. Family owned and operated using Grandma's recipes for that authentic Italian touch, Venetian serves lunch and dinner, specials daily, and breakfast on the weekends. Join them Wednesdays and Thursdays for live music. Planning a party? Let The Venetian do catering for you. The Venetian, 909 Broad Street in Weymouth. Call for takeout, 781-337-4363. 781-337-4363.
And welcome back to 1510 WUFC. I'm Brad Johnson coming to you live from Manning Field as we begin the second quarter of the Merrimack Valley Pride versus the North Shore Generals. In the second quarter, score stands at 0-0. The Pride are on the field. They are actually in second down as we were joined live in progress from the station break. First down was a short handoff, which netted about 3 yards. As we come up, Jason Fisher brings his troops to the line of scrimmage. Jason Fisher from the eye. Not a lot of shotgun out of Fish this week. Going a lot from under center. I can only imagine to control the ball a little bit more. As he drops back for the first pass of the game, drops back deep, passes intended for Amari Mobley, but it is intercepted. And that is intercepted. We shall see if it stands. Teddy Francois on the interception from Jason Fisher. And now both teams are the subjects of turnovers as Amari Mobley was the intended receiver. One thing that I don't like about that play, Amari Mobley saw the ball was being floated. At that time when the ball is being floated, ladies and gentlemen, you become the defensive back. Don't let the ball get intercepted. You know the ball's being floated, whether it was tipped at the line, whether he's throwing it at a weak ball, maybe it came off his back foot, but don't stand there and let the interception happen. Amari Mobley has been playing in the NFL, one of the MVPs of the league and all-stars of the league. He is well known on this. There's no excuse. First down for the Generals as Amparo from the shotgun, quick handoff to Chris Lane. Chris Lane runs for about 12 yards before he's finally taken down from Paulie Morales. And that's going to bring up first down for Paulie Morales. A little shocked. It was expecting a little bit more from this defense on that. Chris Lane is something that's going to have to definitely be checked on. If there's ever an opportunity for that to happen, these guys have to make it so now. As they come up on their first down for the first time, Amparo from behind the line, quick toss to Chris Lane. Chris Lane cuts inside for about 3 yards, breaks another tackle to the sideline, breaks one more at the 50, at the 51. Finally taken down by David Carrion. Wonderful toss and play on that. Just with the defense myself, I want the opportunity not only for them to come up and jump off those blocks, but with that running back, as we're seeing in Chris Lane, that's about his sixth carry of the game. He's sitting on about 45 yards. If they continue to toss right, toss left that guy and stick to that bread and butter, they're going to be seeing the end zone here quickly. 12 minutes and 29 seconds to go before the half. Score still stands 0-0 as Amparo from the shotgun at about the 48-yard line. Ball is snapped, drops back, quick pass. Caught, sliding catch made. Taken down by Daniel Ramos. That may be enough for a first down as we're waiting to see. And that call is made. That is going to be another first down for the Generals. And Caparo slipped that pass in, and that guy had no chance to make that catch without selling out, and that's good to see. I've been watching a lot of preseason games, and the problem with preseason, if you're not trying to make the team, you're not going to sell out. He's definitely not trying to make the team, and he sold out, and that was the only way to make that slide and catch, and he made it for the first down. Caparo drops back with the shotgun, takes it himself. Huge block on number 2. Caparo down to the 7-yard line, and he walks it in for the first touchdown for the Generals. And Caparo scores on an easy keep. That's going to bring the score to 6-0 without any laundry on the field as we await the very first extra point for that team. Wow. I just have to say wow now, ladies and gentlemen. There was a block placed upon Wayne Dow that I haven't seen since maybe last night when I was playing Madden, because that guy used the phrase, that block was a phrase called truck stick. And that's exactly what he did. He truck sticked that guy. So we shall see if there's an opportunity for them to come back. And the kick is up, and good. Score stands now 7-0 with 11 minutes and 22 seconds left to go. In this wonderful game brought to you on 1510 WUFC. Again, I'm alone in the booth this week. It's a little lonely up here, but I've got all of you guys back at home, and I know that a lot of the Pride family members are listening this evening. Want to give a shout-out to Amari Mobley's sisters out there. We are friends on Instagram, and it's good to say that your brother's fighting his heart out this game. It will be good to see what they can do coming up before half. Right at about 11 and a half minutes to go with the score 7-0. The only touchdown was on a score from Kevin Amparo, which was about a 37-yard keep. And the reason that touchdown was scored again, I have to say, because there was a magnificent pancake block down the field on safety Wayne Dow. Without that happening, there would have been no way that play would have been made. As the Pride are set to receive this kickoff, back deep, Jonathan De Los Santos. And it looks like Ramon Herrera is back deep as well. And the ball is off, kickoff. Ball is done cleanly. Jonathan De Los Santos takes the ball at the 10, looks for his wall, humongous block, finds a hole. He's up at about the 25 to 30 before he is gang tackled and brought back down to about the 27. Good return for Jonathan De Los Santos. And I like the north and south running on him. I've been watching De Los Santos for the past couple of weeks, and he usually hits straight for the sideline, and sometimes that wall's not set up. If there's a hole, that guy runs about a 4.5 or 4.4. Go ahead and get as many yards as you can. Sometimes these speedsters are so ingrained on looking for the wall. Heck, man, you've got that speed. Jump up there. Get in the middle. And that's what Jonathan De Los Santos did. As we come out to the Pride's possession, it's going to be first down. They're going to be starting this drive off from about the 28-yard line, and we have the same quarterback in, so there's no quarterback change this series. Jason Fisher, two backs in the backfield from the eye, under center as we await the snap. He looks over his troop. Defense jumps. Quick handoff right up the middle, stuffed. Gains about a yard on the play. Looks like that was Jason Pena with the short carry. No, excuse me, that was Jimmy Luis Charles. That was Jimmy Luis Charles, and that was Luis Charles's first action that we've seen in the game. He was their initial ball carrier the very first week, and he has seen limited action in the backfield, and it looks like they are bringing him to have a little bit more action this week. And that's going to bring up second down. Jason Fisher brings his troops in. Formation as he goes under center. Amari Mobley split out wide with Alex Andrews in the slot. Defense jumps to try to get the offense to jump. They're cool under pressure. Fisher drops back, looks for the pass, being takes it, and he drops. His ball is fumbled, but he does recover. They are not going to rule that a sack, but he was able to recover his own fumble, lost about 4 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up third down. Alex Andrews comes back onto the field for Ramon Herrera. Herrera trouts off the field, and I think on that play, Herrera was supposed to be doing a crossing route, and he got caught up in the linebackers, which forced Jason Fisher out of the pocket. Once he got out of the pocket, the defense was free to roam on his head, and that's what they tried to do. They tried to tap dance on his face, and instead of taking the tap dance, he dropped the ball but was able to recover. That's going to bring up third down as Jason Fisher brings his troops to the line. I formation under center, looks the troops over, takes the snap, blitz coming, drops back, quick little bubble screen. And the pass is complete to Jonathan de Los Santos. Unfortunately, the blockers didn't come back to see it, and he was taken down quickly after a gain of only about 3 yards, which is definitely not going to be enough for the first down. They're now facing fourth down with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to go before the half. The score is 7-0. I'm Brad Johnson coming to you live from Manning Field, only on 1510 WUSC Boston. As we are set for the punt, Jason Fisher looks like he's going to be handling the punting duties once again. Jason Fisher is a good kid to kind of be the all-around guy for this team, as most quarterbacks are. They handle punting duties. They handle snapping duties. They handle a lot of different factions when it comes to hands-on in these type of leagues. Everyone knows Tom Brady would only be handling those type of duties if Mallet was hurt. But here in the NFL, where these guys are just playing for the moment, they're willing to do whatever it takes to stay on the field. There is a quick moment of break in action as the refs talk it over. Looks like they're looking at a number of people on the field. We are ready to go. Ball is punted. Very short squib kick, only went about 17 yards. Ball is marked down right at the 37-yard line as the Generals take over. I can only imagine that Kevin Amparo is trying to get a score in before half, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I could see Chris Lane taking a couple of these drives to break the defense open. If he does that, Amparo is going to have that same opportunity. This Pride defense needs to realize that and start to play a little bit between the tackles here. If they can get that offensive line in the backfield and push them back and disrupt that play action, that's going to give Amparo a little bit less time, a little bit less freedom to be creative, as we've seen him in the first couple of quarters of play. Amparo coming in from the shotgun. First down for the Generals from about 37, takes a short pass. Bubble screen. And 23, Chris Lane with the reception. And it looks like the defense for the first time was able to sniff that short bubble screen out. James Dorr makes the tackle on that play. James Dorr for his first tackle of the game. That's going to bring up second down for the Generals. Amparo has his troops in the huddle. The defense sits back and gets ready for this play. Once again from Manning Field, the sun's going down. The lights are coming out. The fans are in the stand. By halftime, this will be a night game. For right now, it's a beautiful sunset. As Amparo takes a quick snap to Chris Lane, he is stopped, but then fumbles the ball, recovers it in the backfield, taken down by big number 50, Louis Medina. The initial tackle was made by Wayne Dow. Wayne Dow bounced right off of Chris Lane. Chris Lane, the ball was jarred loose. Louis Medina knocks him on top, which is going to bring it to third down. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Lane must be hard as a rock because Wayne Dow bounced right off of him. And it looks like the Pride are having a great defensive stand against Amparo and the Generals this series. Amparo from the shotgun. Bring up third down. Ball is snapped. Drops back for a quick pass. Ball is released. Ball was intended for the receiver deep, number Jesse Pierce, number 11. First time I've seen Amparo overthrow someone by about 10 or 15 yards. I'm not sure if that route was misinterpreted by the receiver in that play or Amparo's arm was just as big. Either way, David Carrion's back deep to receive the punt as we await And I know Amparo wishes he could get that play back with 6 minutes and 25 seconds left to go before halftime. That seemed like an important drive for them. Now let's see what the Pride can do with this ball. Ball is snapped, short kick. It looks like they're going to let it hang, let that ball go right at about the 39-yard line is where the ball is going to be down, and that's where the Pride are going to take over with just under 6 minutes to go before the half. Score still stands, General 7, Pride 0 on 15-10 WUFC Boston, live from Manning Field. I want to give a big shout-out to another one of our sponsors, T&M Roofing in Billerica. For all your roofing needs, visit tnmroofing.com. Like in these road games, getting a chance to see some of the press box facilities that they have here. Nothing is as good as home, but I have to say Manning Field has been very, very cordial, and all of their staff were very helpful. And I give a big shout-out to the city of Lynn for their help in getting us set up with our equipment and production. Jason Fisher brings the squad up to the line of scrimmage, first down from about the 40-yard line. Quick toss to Jonathan De Los Santos, who bounces out and is taken down for a loss. Gang tackled by about 3 Generals. It looks like the first one on the tackle was Lubin Figaro, quarterback. Lubin Figaro's out of Everett, 5'11", 200 pounds. And he was able to take down De Los Santos after that quick toss. That's going to bring up second down. We've got a substitution. Alex Andrews coming out of the game. And Aaron Mosian entering for the Pride. Jason Fisher breaks the huddle, brings the squad to the line. I formation. Ramon Herrera up top, Amari Mobley in the split. In the slot with the split backfield. Fisher under center. The defense adjusts, checks themselves. Fisher with the snap. Fisher ducks his head, goes down for a quick 2 or 3 yards as the pocket collapsed pretty quickly. Pass was going for it. Looks like he was going for Ramon Herrera up the sideline. He was defended pretty tightly. And again, I'm going to go back. I don't care what quarterback you are. I don't care what league you're in. You have to do your check down. And I don't think there was a check down on that play. He looked for option A, which was a quick streak down up the sideline. It wasn't there. And instead of taking your time, he ducked the ball and ran for about 2 yards. And that's doing nothing but hurting your offense when you don't do your check downs. Third down coming up from the shotgun. Jason Fisher, Amari Mobley, split out wide. Fisher, Andrew Howard in motion. Calls for the ball. Ball is snapped, drops back, looks for the pass, goes down the sideline for Amari Mobley, and the ball is knocked out of the air. Amari Mobley was wide open. And what a wonderful defensive play by Dan Cooksey, linebacker out of Middleton. And that ball would have gone for a touchdown, but he ran with Amari Mobley down the sideline. Amari Mobley initially split the zone, had a wonderful placed ball, and he was able to catch up. And that's going to bring up fourth down for the Pride. Jason Fisher set to punt from the 32-yard line. Back deep to receive for the Generals is Jesse Pierce. Punt is off. They're going to stay away from it. And the ball is going to be recovered by Alex Andrews right at the 41-yard line. And that's where Amparo is going to have another shot at the end zone before the half. With 3 minutes and 42 seconds left to go from Manning Field, General 7, Pride 0. I don't know if any of you guys are also excited out there. It's that time of the year for fantasy football. 1510 WUFC usually has a studio or a station league that goes on. Last year, Anthony Pepe was able to take the championship away from Darwin Zook, and I was not very happy about that, but things happen. I was unable to make that draft, and that's probably why I lost, because Darwin Zook picked for me. First pass is complete to Chris Lane, and that's going to bring up second down. That pass was complete for about 6 yards. Looks like they're not doing any type of hurry-up offense with the clock ticking down, 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Amparo from the shotgun. Two receivers split wide. Amparo calls for the ball. Blitz on its way. Amparo breaks the tackle, goes for another one up the middle at the 50, at the 40, and runs him over. It looks like runs Jose Baroa over for another 3 yards. He was dragged. That's definitely going to be a first down. Clock is going to stop at 2:58. That's some of the quickest running I've seen in a long time here in the NFL. There is a Pride player down on the field. Not sure who that Pride player is, but Camparo took off after he was basically sacked by two people and picked up about 32 yards on the play. That was humongous running from the Generals quarterback. You talk about swag, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to do in order to make this league. And that's exactly what happened. My name's Brad Johnson, coming to you live from Manning Field on 1510 WUFC Boston. We've got an injury. I'm going to go ahead and take a timeout now. And when I come back, we will give you an injury update. I'm Brad Johnson, 1510 WUFC Boston. Come back and see us.
Music Drives Us is a recognized 501c3 charity organization committed to music education, preservation, and awareness throughout New England. Music Drives Us supports organizations and individuals who are struggling to keep music in our schools, in our communities, and in our lives. Only with your support are we able to continue funding these important projects. Donate today at musicdrivesus.org. Music Drives Us funds music education programs, supplies musical instruments to schools, sponsors music therapy programs, and much more. If music has touched your life, please support Music Drives Us as we strive to give back even more to the very important but underfunded segments of society. Make a donation of any amount at musicdrivesus.org. We're a recognized 501c3 charity organization, so you'll receive a maximum tax deduction. Please donate and help keep these programs alive. Let music drive you.
And we're back at 1510 WUFC Boston, live from Manning Field, where the North Shore Generals hold a strong lead, 7-0 over the Merrimack Valley Pride. Coming off of that injury update, that was defensive lineman and linebacker Christian Guzman hurt on that play. He was taken off the field. We'll resume action. Second down. Amparo from the shotgun. Trips left up high. Ball is snapped. He rolls out. Is pursued. Goes to the left sideline. Throws the ball. Ball is almost intercepted by Daniel Ramos on the play. Pass was intended. And pass was intended by Teddy Francois. With a minute and 53 seconds left to go, clock stops before the half. Amparo's on the sideline with his coach going over his play. I can tell you what's going through Amparo's mind right now. He's about 45 yards away from the end zone, and he's about one missed block and one missed tackle away from glory. And if I'm the defense here, I'm watching him very closely because it looks like the Pride secondary is able to shut them off, but these linebackers need to stay close to home when it comes to him. Camparo from the shotgun. Third down, calls for the play. Ball is snapped. That pass goes deep to the corner of the end zone. Ball is broken up. There is no flag. Broken up by David Carrion. Perfect defense. He did not fall from the pump fake from Amparo on the play. Pass that was a beautiful display of secondary defense from David Carrion. Pass was intended for the speedster Aaron Cobb. But again, ladies and gentlemen, he did not look back at the quarterback. If he would have looked back at the quarterback, he would have fallen not only to the pump fake, he would have stopped dead in his tracks to look for the ball. He waited for Aaron Cobb to look, and when he did, he was able to take the play. Ball is back. Ball is in the air, deep for, and the ball is defended heavily by Amari Mobley. Pass was intended for Jesse Pierce. Amari Mobley was all over that kid like white on rice, and there was nothing that could be done. They're going to turn the ball over on downs. They went for it on fourth down, testing that Pride secondary. The Pride are going to take over at about the 38-yard line. Score is 7-0 with a minute 38 left to go before the half. Let's see if Coach Keith Shear can have Jason Fisher's offense go about 60 yards to tie this game up. I would tell you something. I haven't seen much offense out of the Pride at all this first half. I would like to see a little bit more of a balanced attack. It looks like, again, Fisher's going to be from the shotgun. No backs in the backfield. Calls for the ball. Ball is snapped. Ball is in the air to Amari Mobley. Makes the catch at about the 41-yard line. Taken down immediately. That's a gain of about 3 yards. Taken down by Lubens Figaro. That's going to bring up second down. And if you're going to be going for those type of bubble screens, make sure that your blockers are out there. You may want to have that conversation in the huddle. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a football game, but I know when you play it, there's plays, and you may want to be able to talk them over in that huddle. And on that bubble screen, there's a reason it's called a bubble. That's the people who are protecting you. And that time, there was no protection. Jason Fisher brings the troops up from the shotgun, calls for the ball, drops back, looks in the air, quick screen to Amari Mobley. Same play, same result. Pass is complete for a first down. That time, it looked like Ramon Herrera did come over to attempt to help with that block. And with that, the Pride are going to take a timeout with 40 seconds left to go on 1510 WUFC Boston. My name is Brad Johnson. You can hear it live here every week, either on your dials in the car at home on 1510 AM here in Boston, or worldwide on the TuneIn app, which you can get on Apple or Android, or you can go to the website www.tunein.com. With 40 seconds left to go, Jason Fisher brings his team out to the line of scrimmage. We're going to see if the defense can hold them off for these next few minutes. Looks like the player of the half for the Generals is definitely Kevin Amparo. Chris Lynn also has had some positive rushing yards from the backfield. But Kevin Amparo providing the lone spark for the Generals. Jason Fisher from the shotgun, ball snaps, rolls out of the pocket, pressured, runs to the sideline, pass is thrown, and there is a flag on the play. Pass was intended for Alex Andrews. The ball was caught. We are going to wait for the official. Let's see what the white hat has to say. As we await the call, We'll see what the white hat has to say as he talks it over with the sideline judge. Looks like it's going to be a personal foul on the defense. And that's going to walk them off 10 yards. That's going to bring them an automatic first down. What a lucky break for the Merrimack Valley Pride. And that's going to be a first down for the Pride. What a lucky, lucky break for these guys. Let's see if they are able to capitalize on this penalty. With 33 seconds left to go, they're going to take over at about the 37-yard line. Jason Fisher, first real shot at an end zone this half as he lines up in the shotgun. One back in the backfield. Jason Fisher takes the snap. Quick pass to Jonathan De Los Santos, who catches it over the middle, breaks one tackle, then another, taken down right at about the 31-yard line. Pass is complete. I'm going to see if we're going to get a timeout on this play, and we are going to get a timeout after the reception, and it's going to be charged to the Merrimack Valley Pride as they were able to complete a quick slant. And I was really impressed by the yards after catch. We call that a yak here in the booth off of Jonathan De Los Santos, who took the ball about 3 or 4 yards with some very hard running. And let me tell you something. Jonathan De Los Santos stands about 5'9", about 165, dripping wet, and he went through that linebacking core slippery than a snake on Duck Dynasty, because that kid definitely did not hear the footsteps. As that brings up second down, Jason Fisher from the shotgun. De Los Santos split out wide. Fisher drops back. Quick pass. Caught by Luis Mendoza. Luis Mendoza for the reception. Clock is stopped on that play. Not brought up first down. That's 2 first downs this series. And Jason Fisher is going to kill that play. As Jason Fisher kills the play with 11.5 seconds to go, they are definitely thinking end zone. If you're the defense, you're going to play soft on this and give them whatever they want underneath and hope that your defense can wrangle them in with 11 seconds to go. And their defense has been playing soft to give them those quick little slants over the middle. The problem with that is sometimes you'll miss a tackle and that guy goes for 6 yards. Again, second down with 11.5 seconds to go. Jason Fisher from the looks back, throws to the end zone. Ball is caught by Alex Andrews, barring any. There is a flag on the field, but Alex Andrews with the touchdown reception. Looks like there's going to be a holding call. Will the touchdown stand? Beautiful pass by Jason Fisher. Looks like that's coming back. That's going against the Pride. That is not going to be a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the ball is taken back. Looks like there was going to be the big guy, 73, went low on a chop block, David Figueroa. Not only is that going to bring the Pride back to the 38-yard line where they're going to have to repeat second down, but now that tacks on about another 30 yards to the end zone. You can't kick yourselves down when you are up, and that is exactly what happened on that play. That was a wonderful pass from Jason Fisher to Alex Andrews. Alex Andrews slipped behind the defense, dropped right behind that safety, right in the middle of the end zone. Ball was thrown perfectly. But when you're being lazy up front, your team's going to pay, and that's what happened. 5 seconds left to go. Repeating a second down, Jason Fisher from the shotgun calls for the ball. Ball is snapped. Fisher drops back. Ball is in the air, thrown deep to Amari Mobley. Amari Mobley. And there is going to be a penalty flag. Amari Mobley had the defender beat. The defender essentially tackled Amari Mobley. Let's see who's going to get called for that. That looks like that's Kyle Mitchell out of Boston. Also doubles as a running back, so that could possibly be the reason he was called on that. So it looks like they're either going to let that go or that's going to be halftime, because he was definitely going for it all. But as it stands, there is no more time on the clock. Let's see if the refs allow them to put at least a second on the clock for them to have one shot at the end zone. If not, that pass interference call, we're going to see if they're going to put anything on it. And that's the problem. That was a running back covering an NEFL All-Star. And they are going to call a timeout right before the play is called. Again, I'm not sure what's going on in Manning Field, but the clock says 0 seconds left to go, but there's been a timeout attributed to the Generals, which is their second timeout. So it looks like the Pride are going to get one shot at the end zone before we go into the halftime break. They're going to have one more shot at it. You're listening live from Manning Field on 1510 WUFC Boston. I'm Brad Johnson, coming to you live every week. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at B Johnson Radio. Once again, that's at B Johnson Radio. Always enjoy new followers. If you have any questions about the preseason and who you think your preseason favorites are. Next week, we'll be going into a little bit more NFL as well. Hopefully, my co-host will be back. Doing this all by yourself becomes it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge that I like to take upon. It looks like they are going to give them one more play. The defense is ready to go, as it looks like Keith Scher is getting his offense set aside. They are going to be taking the ball at the 10-yard line, so they've got 10 yards to try and tie this game up going into half. I can only imagine with Coach Keith Scher was telling his troops just now in the huddle, but they have a legitimate shot at scoring here. Jason Fisher brings his troops up. Jonathan De Los Santos is split out closest to me on the sideline. Fisher calls for the ball from the shotgun, drops back, looking for Amar Mobley, tucks the ball, starts to run it himself for a quick toss. The pass is incomplete, and that's going to be the end of the first half here at Manning Field, where the score stands General 7, Pride 0. I have to say that Alex Andrews made the only catch that resulted in a touchdown for the Pride, but unfortunately it was called back for a chop block on the offensive line. On the other side, the lone score for the Generals was from quarterback Kelvin Amparo, who took the ball about 30 or 40 yards on a quarterback keep and scampered into the end zone, and now the score stands 7-0. I am Brad Johnson. This is 1510 WUFC. We're coming to you live from Manning Field. We're going to be taking a break for halftime. When we come back, we will have live for you the second half of this NEFL presentation. Come back and see us after the half, folks.